So maybe let's start with, I got to spice it up because I do have a heavy one in here, which probably most of you are familiar with. So let's kind of bounce it up a little bit. First off, I've been picking a lot on Delta and I am so sorry. Aetna, you're coming in. You want to be a part of the story. You want to be a part of the party. And I don't want to leave you out. Now Aetna is jumping in and saying they're no longer going to be sending paper checks to their out-of-network dentists. So that probably isn't quite as bad as what Delta did by saying even their in-network doctors are not going to pay them by paper check anymore. They're going to charge them, or they'll pay them by paper check, but they're going to charge them a fee to do so. Aetna is only going to penalize those who are out of network and saying we're not going to be issuing you paper checks anymore. I assume that means they're still going to be doing EFT to out of network, but I should never assume when it comes to insurance companies. But I think there seems to be a lot of kerfluffle going on in the insurance space right now and kind of trying to find little margins where they can. So it would be interesting to watch the next couple of months as numbers start winding down for Q3 to see any other last minute changes that we have coming forward. But I didn't want to leave Aetna out. You know, we've been talking a lot about Delta. Feel bad about that, I guess. All right. It's been a busy year, 2026. States have been incredibly active on insurance reform legislation. And in fact, more than 100 dental insurance bills have been introduced in over 37 states. So far, 14 have been enacted with 21 total new laws. I think that shows a ton of activity on the state level trying to control what's happening with insurance companies. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but most of these reforms only really impact state level insurance plans. So self-funded and federal plans always seem to get by without being impacted. So I'm still a fan of really looking at federal insurance reform laws because that is really the only thing that's going to make it very easy on a state level to know which one of these laws you can enact and at what time you can enact them. Right now, we're still operating in this very weird space where some insurance companies we can enact the laws and in others we can't. But it does show that it's been a very active, busy year. Dental loss ratio, virtual credit card payments, network leasing, assignment of benefit, retroactive claim denials, and downcoding have all been subject matters for all of these different laws. And in fact, to be specific, Colorado just passed a new law for dental network leasing. And I kind of like the language here. And I thought it was worth bringing up. It will take effect on August 12th. So we got just a few weeks, but definitely a big lobbying effort on behalf of the state of Colorado and the ADA participating in that activity. Let me just read you a little snippet of what the law will address. It requires insurers to obtain dentist affirmative consent before leasing their services to third parties, while allowing dentists to also withdraw that consent. In addition, carriers must provide regular updates on lease networks and the third parties accessing them. And third-party payers must adhere to the same contractual terms as the original carrier. A lot of good language here, basically saying, if I sign a contract with you, that is just a contract with you. You are not then allowed to sell me to other parties. And now patients are coming into your office saying, well, they told me that you were in network with this particular company, even though you didn't actually sign a contract. And most importantly in this law, they will be obligated to continue to notify the contracted dentist to make sure that they want to participate in the next leasing assignment or whatever. They can't just do it and then not communicate further, and then the doctor doesn't know what's happening. And if they withdraw, they are legally allowed to do so. So I'm really proud to see what Colorado is doing. I think this is just one other bill that's been put out there. Again, 37 different states, 100 different dental laws over the course of 2026, trying to get this stuff under control. Workforce issues, payment, insurance, you name it, they've been dealing with it. The third story of the week was actually a pretty sad story. And I don't bring it up because I want to delight in the demise of this doctor. In fact, As I read the story of the young 4-year-old who passed away in Texas under sedation and the doctor who was administering the sedation and performing the procedure at that time, I feel bad for everybody. I feel bad for the family that lost a precious baby. I feel bad for a woman whose career probably is over or what she had built. And I don't know her story. I don't know the debt that she's carrying or her dreams or what she represents from her family and sort of the struggles. But if I put myself in that old situation and something adverse happens, that everything you've been working for your whole life changes in an instant. And it could be in your profession, it could be in your personal life, whatever. You can't help but feel empathy for somebody like that, to want everybody to have been okay, for that 4-year-old to have gone back to school, and for that doctor to be able to continue to perform dentistry in her community safely. So, for that, it's just a friendly reminder that we can't really take what we do for granted, and that even with our best attempts of wanting to perform really good dentistry and take care of people in our community, things can change in an instant. And I'm not quick to judge our colleagues because um, until you're in that situation and until you really understand what happened, it's very quick to pass judgment. Um, but we'll allow the courts to sort those things out. In the meantime, our prayers go out to that family for a life that was lost way too young. And with that, that's the news.